Hi everyone, this is Mara. Today I'm doing a fourth grade lesson, Symbolism in North Carolina. The standard course of study that it meets the objectives is fourth grade history. Point 2 is understand how notable structures, symbols, and places, names are significant to North Carolina. And then 4H22 explain the historical significance of North Carolina state symbols. So we are about to start. Good afternoon, class. Today we are going to learn about symbolism in North Carolina. In our last lesson, we learned about American culture and how our nation's flag represented us as Americans in whole. Today we are going to learn about North Carolina culture and some of the symbols chosen to represent North Carolinians as a whole. So, before we start, we need to do a little review of the definitions that we learned from last lesson. What is culture? What is symbolism? What is symbols? We'll start out with culture. It is the characteristics of a particular group of people, defined by everything from language, religion, cuisine, social habits, music, and arts. When I think of culture, I'll use the music and arts example. The Irish American culture is represented through Irish step dancing and Celtic music. What is symbolism? Well, symbolism is the practice or art using an object or a word to represent an abstract idea. An action, person, place, word, or object can all have a symbolic meaning. If we remember, the flag has symbolized our nation's strength and unity. It gives our citizens pride and inspires them to be the best Americans they can be. Examples of symbolism. The American flag. The red stands for valor and bravery, while the white stands for purity and innocence, and the blue stands for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The stars represent the 50 states that we have, and the stripes represent the original 13 colonies. What is a symbol? It is a thing that represents or stands for something else, especially a material object representing something abstract. For example, of course, the American flag, it represents the United States. The Statue of Liberty, it represents freedom. And when we think of the dollar sign, we automatically think of money. So can you think of any other symbols? What about McDonald's? When we see McDonald's, we see that big M, arched M. We know without even reading the sign underneath that says McDonald's that represents McDonald's. That arched M is a symbol for McDonald's. The importance of symbols is a symbol reflects who we are and what we stand for. It is how the world will recognize and know us. They are all we have to communicate with one another and to share our ideas and feelings. Symbols represent the cultural heritage and natural treasures of each state or the entire U.S. So, we're about to get into the lesson. We're going to go over 3 of the state symbols today. And then when you come in tomorrow for the activity, we're going to do some super fun research and presentations. Okay, so first we're going to start out with the state flag. As the nation flag represents American culture, the North Carolina flag represents North Carolinians and their culture. The flag was established or created in 1861. That would be the flag on the left, the one that looks a lot older than the one on the right. The design of the flag shall consist of a red field, so that is the vertical red field, while stars in the center with white inscription above in semicircle form of May the 20th, 1775, and below in a semicircle form May the 20th, 1861. It shall have 2 equal bars, which are the horizontal blue and white, width and length equal to this, and 2 shall be blue and white. The flag was used until 1885. So if the flag was made in 1861 and we quit using the design in 1885, how old was that flag? So we need to write down 1885, subtract 1861, and we should get 24 years. Well, in 1885, we adopted a new design. Instead of the red field, we adopted the blue union to be vertical, the center star, and then we added an N on the left and a C on the right, which represents North Carolina, and then equal horizontal bars of red and white, red being on top, white of course being on the bottom. But instead of white inscription, we used black inscription, and the two dates were May the 20th, 1775 on the top, but on the bottom we have a different date. It's April the 12th, 1776. On the original flag, the May the 20th, 1861, which was taken off, was the North Carolina Session of Union, and it was replaced by the April 12th, 1776. And that commemorates the Halifax Resolves document, and that placed North Carolina in the front rank among those that demanded unconditional freedom and absolute independency from any foreign powers. The date on top, May the 20th, 1775, it represents the Mecklenburg Declaration. So take a minute, I just want you to take a minute and I want you to look at both the flags and I want you to study the differences and the similarities. Okay, so we did a quick review. We studied them. We made sure that the differences and the similarities. Well, now we're going to do a Venn diagram. We're going to compare and contrast. On the left side of the screen, it is the first flag, and on the second side of this, on the right side of the screen, we're going to do the second flag, and of course, in the middle are what is similar. On the first flag, the color red is vertical, which means it's up and down. Remember, vertical, up and down. Well, the color blue is horizontal. Both the dates are May the 20th, just different years. One was 1861, the other one was 1775. And the words are in white. But on the second flag, the color blue is vertical, which means up and down. And then the color red is horizontal. So we see the difference there is those two colors switch positions. The dates are different. The words are actually inscripted in black instead of white, and then the flag has the letters N and C. The similarities they have were that the colors red, white, and blue stayed the same. It was the same size and shape. They never changed that. The first date of May the 20th, 1775 was the same on both flags, and the star in the center never changed. That flag stayed the same for 100 years. It had a minor changes. We took the commas out of the dates, and then we've added a little bit of length to make it longer than the width would be. Well, now we're going to go into the state rock, which is the granite. It is known as the noble rock. North Carolina has an abundance of granite, which means we have tons and tons of granite rock. Surry County has the largest open face granite quarry in the world. So the entire world, Surry County has the largest open face granite quarry. And then some places that has been formed and created from this rock is the Wrights Brother Memorial, which is in Kitty Hawk, the Gold Depository, and the Arlington Memorial Bridge. It is unblemished and gleaming, and so they use it to build materials and is used for industrial and laboratory applications. So this rock has created many buildings or a bridge, memorials, and the rock is used for many courthouses. The top left is the gold depository. To the right is the Wrights Brother Memorial, and on the bottom is the Arlington Bridge. The reason I decided to use this symbol today was I wanted everyone to know that granite is a symbol of strength, and that is a quality characteristic of North Carolinians. We are very strong, and we have strength no matter what. We never give up. And it's fitting that the state recognize the contribution of the granite because it provides employment for many of our citizens and enhances the beauty of our state. This rock is beautiful and it has made some beautiful buildings and landmarks. The last thing that we're going to cover today is the North Carolina State Seal. It is known as the Great Seal of the State of North Carolina. 1663 was the original date of design. It has changed many times over the years. Since the War for Independence, it was 6 different seals have been used. 1971 resolved to standardize the design of the state seal. So what that means is that was the final seal. They said they had enough of it changing its look, that this was the current and final look. So 1971, we have not changed this seal since then. So let's look at the seal. This is the seal. Liberty, who is standing, and Plenty looking towards each other. So they're looking towards each other. Liberty again is standing. She has a pole with a cap on it in the left and a scroll in the right with the word Constitution. Plenty, who is sitting down, has 3 heads of grains in her right arm, which is extended towards Liberty, and the overflowing cornucopia in her left hand. In the background, you see mountains behind Liberty, and in the background behind Plenty, you see a ship in the ocean. It also says the phrase is the Great Seal of the State of North Carolina, which is because that's what the seal is called. And it also has our state motto, those 3 words in Latin. And that means to be, rather to be seen. And if you notice, it has May the 20th, 1775, and that is the same date as our flag. So why is our seal important? Why does the seal represent North Carolinians? What is so important about it? Well, Plenty, the one who's sitting down, the cornucopia, which is the basket with the fruit, the abundance of fruit overflowing, it stands for nourishment and abundance. While Liberty has the pole and the cap, which symbolizes struggle and eventual freedom from tyranny and slavery. And the ship behind Plenty is the voyages of discovery and colonization that brought people to the land that became North Carolina. The seal was created to show that the state was both bountiful and free,